Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, Kingston Town mechanic found allegedly dismantling stolen car, charged with larceny. A mechanic who was found allegedly dismantling a stolen vehicle in Kingston Town, St. Catherine, was on Thursday charged with larceny by the police. He is 28-year-old mechanic Anthony King of Hemingsway, Kingston 20. The police report that around 1 p.m. on Friday, February 14, a team was on patrol in the Fletcher's district of Kingston Town when they allegedly observed the King removing parts from a 2015 Toyota Harrier. The vehicle had been reported stolen 2 days earlier from Sundown Crescent in St. Andrew. King was accosted and questioned, but reportedly failed to provide an account of how he came into possession of the vehicle. He was arrested on suspicion of larceny of a motor vehicle and is subsequently charged on February 20 following a question and answer session. Security intensified as a Kiprich goes to court over alleged gang promoting song. As a dancehall artist, Kiprich, whose given name is Marlon Plunkett, began his court appearance today over allegations of promoting gang violence, security measures were increased at the St. Catherine Parish Court. Kiprich was charged by the police over a song that they claim endorses gang violence and pays tribute to alleged one-order gang leader Othniel Thickman Laban, who was fatally shot by police. The 45-year-old has been charged with the use of audio and audiovisual communication to promote a criminal activity. In court today, it was revealed that a file from the police's communication forensics and the cybercrime division is still outstanding. Kiprich, who is out on bail, was ordered to return to court on May 20. His attorneys, Patrick Peterkin and Michael Jordan, informed the court that on that date, a decision will be made on whether to file an application to take the matter before the Constitutional Court. According to allegations, on January 25, the police heard and saw a WhatsApp recording that allegedly contains the lyrics endorsing criminality, the one-order gang, and the threats against the police in retaliation for Laban's killing. An investigation was launched, revealing that the song, titled Stay Far Freestyle, was performed by Plunkett. He, along with several other men, was listed as a person of interest by the police and asked to turn himself in. The entertainer admitted to recording the song for a promoter, but stated that he had no ill intent. He later surrendered to the Spanish Town police, accompanied by his lawyer, and was subsequently charged. Motorcyclist dies following 5-vehicle crash on Marcus Garvey Drive. The Public Safety and the Traffic Enforcement Branch is appealing to eyewitnesses to Thursday night's fatal crash along Marcus Garvey Drive in Kingston to provide statements to the police. The deceased remains unidentified at this time. The crash involved 4 motorcycles and a Toyota coaster bus. The preliminary report is that about 10:20 p.m., the driver of the coaster bus was in the left lane and attempted to turn right across the middle and right lanes, causing the motorcycles to crash into its side. The police were called. The injured motorcyclists were taken to hospital, where one of the men was pronounced dead. Manchester teen found under bed, charged with housebreaking. A 19-year-old laborer from Huntley District, Manchester, who was found hiding under a bed after allegedly breaking into a house in his community, has been charged. Shane Powell was charged Wednesday with housebreaking and larceny over the incident that occurred on Tuesday, the police say. Powell, also known as the Bartley, was arrested after police found him under the bed inside the ransacked home of a woman who had left for work earlier that day. According to reports from the Mandeville police, the woman securely locked her house at 10:50 a.m. and returned at 5:10 p.m. to find it broken into and several items missing. Measures in place to protect digital court proceedings. As the judiciary of Jamaica prepares to introduce digital audio court recordings, Chief Justice Brian Sykes says safeguards are in place to ensure the secure storage and the integrity of the recorded material. The process, which will roll out in the Supreme Court at the start of the Easter term on April 1, is part of the ongoing modernization of the judiciary to improve efficiency and the timely delivery of judgments. Speaking at a recent JIS think tank, Chief Justice Brent Sykes said appropriate protections against the things such as hacking attempts are being established, including on- and off-site storage of the recordings to prevent a loss of data. You have what is on site there, and then you have a backup somewhere else that you can access in the event that it becomes necessary. There is no such a thing as an unhackable system. What you have to do is to put sufficient barriers in place so that if the person is trying to hack your system, then you get the alerts and you can take the necessary precautions to prevent them actually getting in. We have to keep in mind that every system has vulnerabilities, but it doesn't mean that you do not move forward, he said. Acknowledging the potential for technology failures, the Chief Justice noted the importance of ensuring that the equipment is properly maintained and monitored. You will have in court persons who will be monitoring, listening, and ensuring that it is actually recording. We have to keep in mind that technology can and will fail from time to time. The expectation is that if the instrument stops recording, the clerk who is attending to it will detect this and bring it to the attention of the judge, he pointed out. Jamaica's sustainability to extreme weather, such as hurricanes and other natural disasters, has also been taken into consideration with the introduction of digital recordings. We are in a hurricane zone, so in the event that you have a hurricane and electricity is down, then you will have to revert to pen and ink. We are also in an earthquake zone, so you have natural disasters, and sometimes you can have man-made disasters such as fires. So while we are moving into the digital space, we have to recognize that there may be instances where the pen and ink will have to be resorted to continue the proceedings, the Chief Justice pointed out. 3 people feared dead after truck overturns on car in Trelawney. Police and firefighters are at the scene of a crash in Cotton Tree District, Trelawney. 3 people are feared dead after a truck laden with animal feed overturned on a motor car along the Cotton Tree Main Road Friday afternoon. It is reported that the truck developed mechanical problems and overturned, crushing the Toyota Vitz motor car. Up to press time, the victims were still trapped in the wrecked vehicle. JFJ concerned about a surge in police fatal shootings. Lobby group Jamaicans for Justice is again raising concern over what it says is a surge in the number of fatal shootings by members of the security forces. Executive Director of JFJ, Michael Jackson, says that the increase has reached an alarming and intolerable level. The Independent Commission of Investigations reports that since the start of the year, 50 people have been killed in confrontations with the security forces, with 22 recorded this month. This is compared with a total of 22 for January and February last year. Ms. Jackson says the number is unacceptable in a democracy and is particularly troubling given the country's size. The JFJ head says that the country cannot afford to return to the days when fatal shootings by members of the security forces were commonplace.
If this trend persists, Jamaica risks regressing to the dark days before the establishment of Indicom, when accountability for such incidents was virtually non-existent. If this trend persists, Jamaica risks eroding the gains that we have made since the establishment of Indicom, and certainly the gains that we have made in human rights for the past decade. If this trend persists, we see the possibility of us recording significantly high number of police fatal shootings, the highest that we have seen in over a decade, because since the start of 2025, almost every single day we have seen at least one citizen killed by a member of the security force. When we look at the Indicom press releases and the Indicom's incident reports, we see a standard line. No body-worn cameras were recorded as being issued or worn by the officers assigned to these various operations. We have heard from the JCF leadership that data storage infrastructure is needed to be strengthened to have increased body-worn cameras be procured and deployed However, we must demand a timeline from the JCF's leadership. We have also been told by the JCF's leadership that 750 body-worn cameras are already deployed and are being utilized. The reasonable question that one should put forward: where are the body-worn cameras in these incidents that have resulted in fatalities?
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.